everybody, it's Abby. So I want to do video, but don't know exactly what the direction is yet on it. So I'm just gonna channel and we'll see what happens. Okay. So I'm just gonna tell you what the first image is. Okay. So this is interesting. So the first image that comes is what is a giant lizard man, but he has sort of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sort of front body, so he's got like yellow here and then really green scales, not like dark green but sort of like a grassy green color, and then his face is sort of got like this piece that comes out but then narrows here and comes around. So it's not straightforward and around, it sort of goes into a point and then rounded point. So he's looking at you, kid, is what they say. I don't know why, but it's like all kind of jokey, but let's see what else they say. Yeah, he's looking at you, kid, but he's not even looking at me, which is interesting. Let me see. So he's got a tongue that flickers out in and out, is what they're showing me. They say that there's wisdom to this, so just be patient. Alright, let me see what they say. Okay, so they're showing me purple, dark purple, and then they're showing me black. Let me see. Show me, it's just sort of another picture. What is like a little sort of vampire guy? Makes me think of like Eating Lucky Charms, because he's sort of like silly like that. He almost looks like a marshmallow even. Like he would be like a spokesperson for a cereal or something. So everything is really just sort of silly. Sort of looking at the silly side of things, looking at, it's about perception even. How do you perceive the things that you see in your world? When they say he's looking at you, kid, and he's not actually looking at you, what does that mean to you exactly? It's sort of the oddities of life, you know. How I perceive things in sort of a funny manner versus somebody else might not perceive it in that way. About perception, choosing to be happy or choosing to be sad, choosing to fear or choosing to find joy. It is all related to perception. So however you want to perceive things, how do you perceive the things in your life? That's what they're talking about. This lizard man, this is important because he is the one that is actually the one I'm channeling right now. And it was asked if there were any good reptilians, and I did channel some wisdom related to that, but I didn't come to any sort of grounding to provide like visual images of what one would be like or what that would be like to meet one, I suppose. So he is, he has sort of a serious demeanor to him, although he can relate to humor even. But nothing, now that I'm understanding that I'm talking to him, that all of this whole spectrum of the conversation is actually this lizard being with this sort of point, this silly sort of turtle shell front. He says, those are my pecs. That's what he's saying. He's like got this weird, silly sense of humor. He's like, why are you making fun of my pecs? He's like kind of got abs or whatever. So he's got a sense of humor. He really wants to show this. He can hear, I can hear, he says, and I can see too, and what is sort of extrasensory abilities, ones that human beings are coming into more than we were before. Let's just put it that way. So he has extrasensory abilities. Okay, what is even showing me his hangout, which is in a cave, and sort of like a ham radio setup, and sort of jamming out to tunes. Really sort of finds our way of life to be sort of silly even, but but interests him. So he's sort of showing me that his cave is full of American or like Earth. Like he takes a vacation to Earth and then he brings back all of these sort of souvenirs, which are ham radios. It's sort of like a lazy boy or something. So that's what he's showing. He's like really happy to show a different side of what is a reptilian being, because they're not all evil. He doesn't even want to talk, he doesn't want that word even in this video. So he's like, I said the word evil, he's like, scratch that. I don't even want people to even think about that. He's sort of what would feel like a teenage boy even. Just sort of youthful in his demeanor, and youthful in his thinking even. What doesn't feel tired, you know, or sort of like, I don't know, weathered. I don't know what happens to your thinking as you get older, but the things that you care about when you're younger, you just don't really care about when you're older. It's just sort of, you get weathered or something, and you just don't, you know, you don't associate with it in the same way. And he doesn't feel weathered by life or anything like that. He's just sort of spry. Yeah, it says I actually can tell that he's young. So I guess, yeah, he would be. He didn't look old, but he's also a lizard, and I really don't know how to put an age on that. Sort of body. So let me see here. Thinks mohawks are cool. Showing me gremlins even. This is important. He's showing me gremlins with the mohawk, and people find that kind of hokey and funny. And then the gremlins actually are evil, you know, and they're sort of like a reptilian species, you know what I mean? And so he sort of associates with that because he understands that we would see that as being an evil species. And then, but yet we put a mohawk on it to make it funny, you know. So he's like this. This is sort of somehow associated with him. Also shows that he has sharp teeth even. And then this tongue that keeps dashing in and out. Something having to do with other senses. This tongue can pick up on other things. Like almost like a radio antenna even, sort of sensing even our conversation. I don't know. Just a funny funny energy. So let me see what comes next. All I could just say is that it's sort of like a very loving character, loving energy. Wants to show that reptilian beings can be loving, and that they are not all here to harm us. So I'm trying to make sense. I mean, are you where do you come from, I guess, or where do you live? Let me see. So I'm used to, I'm like fall into these lines, you know, where I talk to the spirit world, and I'm obviously, I sense things, I feel things, and then I also talk to alien beings, and alien beings that astral project, so they're kind of in a spirit form when they visit me too. So how do I discern between what is a spirit and what is an alien, you know? When I'm talking to him, it is all in the same version that comes to me when I'm talking to a spirit realm even. So it's hard to know for sure. I can't put an answer to that. That's the only way I can describe it. But he's definitely he's definitely a spiritual entity is the best way I could describe it. And the wisdom that comes is definitely to showcase that there is an alternate reality to this. That some lizard beings are actually of another sort of breed, where not all of them are bred, so to speak, to be aligned with sort of a darker version, where some of them could actually be laid back and sort of find the sort of silly side of life, and even be a loving expression, find curiosity and in a loving way about our planet and people here. So that's all for this video. I'm just gonna make a short video. I just I don't know, I just got home from work, and then I don't know, I kept seeing something green in my head, and I thought I better just channel and we'll see what happens, and then I'll just share it with everybody. And then so it's just sort of a fun random thing, and if you like it, awesome. If you don't like it, whatever. So that is all for today. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I'm going to share, I swear. So, thank you for watching my video. Got more videos to come.